Monday, late morning. There's the good news. I came in after midnight and packed those 20 plus orders and got those all set to go out. Bunch of good ones in there. Just packed them up, went home and took a nap, and now I'm back to check on a couple of things for a little while. And then on my porch, when the mail came, there's the bad news. Returned. What does that say? Surface transportation only. Returned by airlines. Return to sender. EK battery. Well, I'm gonna have to try to sort that out. I was trying to send a Traxxas gas-powered radio-controlled car to Russia, and I guess somebody along the line said that sure looks like it must have batteries. I don't think it does. Today on
The Crazy Picker Life with Wheeler, Dealer, and Banana Peeler.
Welcome, fellow pickers and would-be adventurers. It's Dealer here with the Crazy Picker Life Monday morning circus edition. There's about 3 rings going this morning. None of them are too exciting. It's not a great show. So we've got battery problem, lack of battery problems. The real problem there is the person on the other end didn't get their thing. They didn't get their RC 4-wheel drive truck, and I'm sitting on about $100 bill that I paid to ship this thing there, and it got returned. So I'm gonna do a little work on it, look it over to make sure my ducks are in a row, and then I'm gonna have to talk to my postmaster. I certainly don't want to reship it and have to repay $100. That's a little heavy. That's one of those, whoops. If it's my fault, I don't think it is. I don't think there's any batteries in there. Bunch of orders packed. I've got 4 more that came in. I've got 1. I need to talk to Wheeler before we let it go. A watch order. I can't tell if this thing is working right or not. I try to look at these watches before they go out. Some of them have batteries that if the watch is on the shelf too long, they're kind of like weak little batteries, or the watch sucks so much power that it's not working anymore. I don't like returns, so I do as much as I can on the checking end. Some of our stuff sits for a while. So I'm going to get this these orders packed, or at least the ones that are going out today packed. There's a couple. And then I'm going to dive into this RC car problem. What else do I have? Well, always have a few shipping issues to deal with. I've got somebody that couldn't sign for their item, and so they decided to buy another one. And my item, my $100 plus item, is rolling around out there somewhere for the last month. It never got shipped back. It never got returned to sender, so I've got to work with that today. So my postmaster is going to be happy today if I can find her. I know who she is. I know where she works. Carrie's really helpful, my postmaster, so not worried about that. Just have to go through the motions. On top of that, I'll show you later, but I was walking back home this morning at about 4 a.m. after packing my orders for the weekend. And it wasn't windy. Now 40-mile-an-hour straight line winds. We got this dust plume up in the air. It's almost like the beginning of the Dust Bowl out here, or whatever happened back in the 30s, 20s and 30s. It is interesting. We've had it before. It's so dry, and the dirt is so dry from being out there with no crops on it. Everything's dry and dead. Nothing's growing. It's pretty eerie out there with the brown background in the sky. We'll see if we can get a shot on that. Okay, time to work a little bit. Here's the last of the 4 items I'm packing up right now. This is a stop sign, yellow stop sign, embossed stop sign, standard size. Sold for about $90 plus shipping. I think I paid 30, 40, maybe as much as 50 for that. I don't remember. I got it with a bunch of other signs. So made a little money. Stop signs are pretty common. They replace them from time to time. They keep upgrading the materials and the quality and the reflectiveness and all that kind of stuff. So common ones are pretty cheap. They're really not sellable if you want to make any money, unless you're getting them for nothing. They're so common. Red embossed ones are pretty good. I don't know, they probably sell for 40, 50 bucks, 60 bucks. Yellow ones are a little more uncommon. They use them in school zones and maybe some other governmental building zones or something. The ones that are really good to look out for are the old ones with the marble. They look like little marbles embedded in there, reflectors. Those are really good. I've had one of those before. Those can sell for $200 and up. And then there's some specialty ones that are hooked with bridges and marbles and all kinds of stuff that can get up into the $400 or $500 range. Pretty neat history of signs and even stop signs and colors and what they're all used for. Common sign, more or less. This one's a little less common. Never, ever, ever, ever not gonna pick that up if I can make a little money on it. Move that along to Indiana. Let's get that out. All right, I've got my couple of UPS in there in case I run into the UPS guy, and I've got my other packages. Definitely some cloud cover going on along with this wind. I guess they've already had a few rollovers on I-70, our highway. I don't think it's as bad right now as it was a little earlier, but you get gusts, you get straight line winds. A lot of times trucks on the highway will sort of come up over a little hill or a valley, and you can feel this when you're traveling on this highway. You hit a certain spot and there's a wind corridor that comes through there, and it'll just knock you off the road, or in the case of some of the semi trucks, it'll knock you right over. The biggest thing that I notice when I'm out in the weather, which isn't really all that much, is when we go out running. And it took us a little while to figure this out, because we're from Wisconsin. I ran in Wisconsin. Everything's moisture and stuff like that. You don't really get the blowing dirt and the dust. And out here with all the farming, there's certain times of the year that's a lot worse, but you get fertilizers and all the stuff that they spray on the ground, all kinds of stuff mixed with that dirt. And if you're out there running and you run into that, you can taste it, and obviously whatever's in there is gonna mess with you. There's a few years in a row that we pinpointed within the weeks of harvest and the weeks of when they're spraying, we got sick a little bit. And so we don't go out running on days like this. It's just, you end up eating the field. And obviously it's not just dirt. If it was just dirt, eat my dust, no big deal. But some of that stuff that is in this chemical soup farming, and I understand the pros and cons, from a basic level, it'll make you super sick, and not worth it. The benefits of getting out and running and working the body are not worth it if you're choking and poisoning yourself.
Okay, I'm gonna go down to the post office. I'm hoping to get a couple of matters explained and settled with the postmaster down there. We'll see how that goes. Well, a couple of good news things here, and just a suggestion. Small town is where I live, and I've actually known the postmaster since they were working the counter and came up through the ranks. And before that, I was pretty friendly with both postmasters before that. If you can, where you do most of your postage, most of your shipping, learn the names of the people at the counter. Try to get to know the postmaster if possible. They're very busy. They've got lots of problems, small and big, to deal with. Always value their time, but that person and the counter people can be your allies if you have any shipping problems. Some of them are regular people, some of them are grumpy people, some of them are overworked people. All of them have stress in their life just like you do. And so I guess number one, just treat them as you would want to be treated and help them out whenever possible. You know, how you do your business, all that. Most of you, I'm sure, know that, but don't knock heads with people you work with, and most of us work with shipping people, so those are your allies if you get to know them. Back to my problem, the battery thing with Russia. I've noticed a lot of challenges over the years with international shipping. Russia, if I were them, I'd be kind of leery on the US right now. We got all kinds of weird stuff going on with accusations politically, all kinds of stuff, you know. I have nothing against Russia. I don't live there. I would choose to live here. I wouldn't mind visiting there, whatever. I wouldn't mind picking there. If I wouldn't, you know, here we have Chicago, bang, bang. All the international people think Chicago's a gunfight. I kind of visualize certain parts of Russia as a gunfight of sorts with vodka. But that's neither here nor there. That, you know, our media and our movies and everything else paints a funky perception. For the most part, it's my hunch that the Russian people are a lot like good American people. So if there's any people from Russia watching, hey, no regrets. So anyway, the thing that I shipped should have been fine. I did have 4 used corroded AAA batteries in a battery box in this car, this gas-powered car. That shouldn't have been a problem. There were no loose batteries in there. There were no rechargeable battery packs. There were no things that would be bad. However, Russia saw something in there with their x-ray they didn't like, and they sent it back. So whatever, you know, they didn't want to deal with it on their airplane. I'm going to get my money refunded on that shipping. I'm going to reship that in a new box, make it look nice and pretty. I'm going to put on there toy car, RC car, no batteries installed, and ship it again. And hopefully all will be well, and that'll get out. The other thing, I had a package. I'm gonna start driving, waste my day, gotta keep moving. I had another package that went out, and the person did not hook up with the post person and did not sign for it. They bought another one. The item went back to the post office in California, and then it's been a month. It hasn't been returned to me. So what the postmaster is able to do is put a request into the post office where this thing should be and see if it's still there, see if they can get more information on the whole thing, and gears are in motion. I didn't have insurance on it. I did have signature required on it. It was first class, so there's not the $50 insurance like a priority mail. However, the case is pretty good that I'm going to be able to file a claim if that thing doesn't come back. So systematically, you have to deal with some of these things. You got to know when to go for it and when not. Some things just are stupid and they're $10 and I let them go. $20, I let them go. when I get into bigger items and little problems like this, I take care of them. So, good news. Back in the office later. Back in the office for the evening. I have my USPS application for refund of fees. So I get to fill out some paperwork. Looks kind of daunting, but you do what you gotta do there, I guess. Postmaster said I should probably repackage this, make it look pretty, put the right wording on there like toy car, RC car, and then put on there not including batteries or batteries not included. And then we will send that to Russia again. And hopefully this time it makes it. And then if I fill out my paperwork here, I get my $100 back. So we'll do that tonight off camera. Then I have probably 4 other orders so far. Orders are a little slow right now. I don't have any sales running today on Monday night. I may or may not start them up again. I think I'm going to not start them up. Well, I don't know. I'm going to be out of the office on Wednesday, so not sure I want to floor the pedal to the metal here while I go off into the exciting world of dentistry. So anyway, let's see, what else should we do? I'm going to print some orders, get that stuff all ready, and then I'll probably pack an order, list an order. I'm going to get into this stuff very, very soon. Want to come along? Sure, why not? Here is an Alpha 27 Hasbro 1987 G.I. Joe radio control car without the radio. Fin busted. There's machine guns on there and stuff that aren't there. Some decals are missing. Didn't test it. Looks good though. Bought it for $1. Listed it for $30 plus shipping. And here is a porcelain light lamp shade with a quad brand tube bracket. Pretty good shape. It's got some weird springy attachments. Looks like it could pretty much be used right the way it is. Some of these are in good shape, some are in bad shape. They last through the ages. This thing is probably 50 years old. Somebody will want to use that pretty badly. Bought it for $15. Started it at $80 plus some shipping. I'd like to take this pipe off, but probably not gonna ship it like that. Strange bowling ball, 7-inch diameter, metal heavy, 3.5 pound globe with 2 Icelands. Homemade by somebody. Bought for $10. Not a lot of these out there. Whoa, get one now. It's actually pretty cool. It's super thick, like 1/4 inch heavy metal. It's gonna be quite a shot put. I don't know what you could use it for. It'd be pretty cool as some part of a display, but I don't know if I'll be able to impart that to anybody. $49.99 plus shipping. Listed. Here's a pretty good emblem, Buick emblem. It's got a little condition issues here. Porcelain, enamel. Some of the listings say this may have come off a radiator. A Buick from the 20s. It's pretty early. It's the real deal. Mint, $100. With some paint missing, or whatever you want to call that. The porcelain missing. They go down to about $40 plus shipping. I listed this one at $40 plus shipping. I paid $1. Here is a Murray pedal car that has some pretty good damage on the back. It has an M on the hubcap and I was able to match it up with something that had a front grille sort of like this, so it is some sort of a Murray pedal car, I'm pretty certain. This is all profit, so I'm listing it at $60 plus shipping. Shipping could be quite expensive. Somebody wants yard art or some sort of a project. Here it is. Well, I figured out the mystery. So this is a bow light, brass, heavy, 5 pounds plus. Got the blue for one side of the boat and the red for the other. Starboard and, gosh, I can't remember. Doesn't matter. I didn't know what this was. And it is for your flag and flagpole. So there you go, you can fly your flag. It's in pretty good shape. Brass is in good shape. Nothing's broken. Got a little character dinger. Mentioned that in the listing. I paid $65. I listed it for $149.99 plus shipping on a ship. So there's this Eastman Kodak film canister. Little bit of info there. That doesn't do me that much good. I don't watch these things. I don't read foreign languages. There it is, unknown. I don't have any money into it. $30 plus shipping. We'll see what goes on there. A lot of people like to buy things that they can look up. A lot of people like to buy sure things. And I'll tell you what, there's a lot of sure things out there. You can buy a lot of things where you can look it up and you can make money on it and all that kind of good stuff. Me, I don't know. It's a combination of I like the treasure hunt of things I don't know about or can't look up. I like to recognize things that are probably high value. I like to buy treasure chests, boxes, bags, stuff that is odd and unique. And really, I'm a little bit crazy and I just don't care. So, you know, this some of this stuff that I buy, I just buy it. I try to feel out the price on it. I kind of look it over. And that's it. Pull the trigger. So, that's the way it goes. Usually if you don't get caught up in it and you know, there's some pieces in there that are scores and there's some stuff you throw away and there's some stuff in the middle. Now, I don't know how to explain how I know what to buy. I look at a lot of stuff. I've looked up a lot of stuff. I've lost money on a lot of stuff. I've made money on a lot of stuff. I guess it's just coming naturally. Now, does that mean I don't make... Do I make money on everything? Do I never make mistakes? Do I ever put my foot in my mouth or somewhere else? Yeah, I guess I do, but hey, I'm still here, still selling, still making money, still buying it all I can. So I guess it works. I'm gonna list a few more items. I taught a Tweety bird. I did see a Tweety bird. A $15 plus shipping enamel Tweety bird that I bought for $1. Here is a vintage lure and miscellaneous lot. I took a few things out of here. I looked a bunch of things up, looked for keywords on these, tried to spot what was cool and what was not. It's not my thing. I'll do okay on this and some other things that I bought in the fishing arena. I will not stop buying fishing stuff, although I am no expert. So I listed this starting at $39, $39.99, 7-day auction plus shipping. We'll see if it goes. Here is another little goober part. This is a Tootsie Toy 4-inch boat trailer in okay condition. It's all there. Obviously it has some wear and some paint missing. That is a $1 item out of the super dollar, take as many things as you want bucket. Not a big score here. Listed for $8 plus shipping. Listed. Here's the last listing for tonight. This is listing number 11. These are Super Nintendos, untested. Picked these up for $5 each. Listed them for $20 each in a lot plus shipping. I'll make a little money. One shakes, got some stuff loose inside. The other one does not. Untested for parts repair. There you go. Alright, let's see what we got here. Forgot I listed that boat light. I put that in at the end there. 11 listings, 543. I've got some pins here that are submerged and kind of grungy. I'm going to have to decide if I'm going to take those out of there and clean them or just toss them out. A couple of camera keychains, miscellaneous fishing stuff that will make a couple lots. And then there's some good fishing stuff in here. There's probably 3, 4, 5 lots of different things in there. I don't know, that's parts from some pedal car that I don't have. I think it's extra. It might go with that tractor stuff. I might just set it with that tractor item. That could be the seat from it. I'll have to go check. I might have to redo that listing. Coors sign, I gotta get a hose here or bring that thing home. Every time I move it, it's so dusty, but that'll need to get listed. And then I picked that up. I had Banana Peeler do some negotiating for that, just to keep him warmed up at the flea market one day. So we'll see if we can get that listed. This stuff in here I think is for a kayak, so I'm gonna have to go round up the rest of that and get that listed, and then that will pretty much wipe up this whole deal. We're getting pretty close there really, and then it's gonna be camera stuff, so that ought to be exciting. I ought to be able to take care of that this week. I've got a nice break on Wednesday where they're gonna rip out my tooth. I keep looking forward to that. I just know that that's not going to be a great listing night, even though I'll probably be in the office when I get home. Yeah. Okay, so we went from 70 degrees and windy at the beginning of the day today. Tonight it's still windy. I can hear it out there. It's down to 27 and windy. So what a crazy wind and shift in weather. I guess we're not out of winter yet. Thanks for watching. I'm going to snip it off here. This was a listing day. I've got some things to pack. I'll just pack those up. I have a few decisions to make on whether I'm going to run a sale before I go to Denver for the day on Wednesday. We'll be back in the office here tomorrow. I don't know. I got some other things I'm going to wrap up, and so I'll have to do some update talking about the trip here. What else is going on? That's about it. So thanks for watching. Appreciate the comments. I read them all. Pick well, list often. Dealer out.
Hey, Wheeler.
Dealer production.